Hey there, I'm Pat. Today I'll be showing you guys the basics of aircraft principal axes along the X, Y, and Z platform. I would like to take a moment to say that I'm not going to get into the physics section of the explanations, but more on the topic of 4 rookies trying to learn more about aircrafts, like you. Properties of lift. We must first acknowledge that air has weight. Airplane wings are designed with a shape that accelerates the air over the top surface, leading to reduced air pressure. So now the pressure on the top of the wing is less than the pressure on the bottom of the wing. The difference in pressure creates a force on the wing that lifts the wing up into the air. Transverse axis, or also called the pitch. The transverse axis, also referred to as the lateral axis, extends from wingtip to wingtip across the aircraft. Pitch, which changes the vertical direction of the aircraft's nose, occurs through a rotation around the axis. The elevators serve as the primary control surface for pitch adjustments. Just a quick reminder that the pressure difference between the top and bottom surfaces of the wing creates a net upward force, enabling the aircraft to take off and maintain flight. This principle is fundamental to the science of aerodynamics and flight. Long story short, the aircraft directs itself to low-pressured air. Since the air in the back of the fuselage is now decreasing in pressure, this brings imbalancement of the aircraft, generating an upwards force on the nose of the aircraft, and the flight can now be redirected by climbing altitude just like commercial aircraft upon liftoff. The longitudinal axis, or also called the roll. The aircraft's longitudinal axis runs from the nose to the tail. When the aircraft rotates around this axis, it is referred to as roll. The change in angular displacement around this axis is known as bank. To alter the bank angle, the pilot adjusts lift, increasing it on one wing and decreasing it on the other, causing rotation around the longitudinal axis. The primary control for bank is the ailerons, while the rudder has a secondary effect. The normal axis, or also called the yaw. Upon animating this part of the video, I realized that the F-22 is unable to do this next action, unlike the F-14 who had one. The F-22 is a fly-by-wire, so the computer is watching the yaw. This means I had to remodel another aircraft, the Boeing 747. The vertical axis, also known as a normal axis, extends from the top to the bottom of the aircraft. When the aircraft rotates around the axis, it is referred to as yaw, which changes the direction the aircraft's nose is pointing, either left or right. The yaw is primarily controlled by the rudder, while ailerons have a secondary effect on it. Example, if the rudder rotates to the right, the pressure in the air decreases to the left, which means the back of the fuselage is now moving right. This brings, you guessed it, imbalancement to the aircraft, causing the nose to point the opposite way. It's crucial to understand that the axis of the aircraft move along with it and shift in relations to the earth as the aircraft moves. For instance, if the left wing of the aircraft is pointing downwards, its vertical axis aligns with the ground, while its transverse axis becomes perpendicular to the ground. Oh, it seems like an AWACS is trying to warn me about a foreign signal coming from a few dozen miles away. There must be something out there I should be concerned about. Wait, I don't have anything to fear. I'm inside of an F-22 Raptor. If you like this video showing the basics of aircraft principal axis, I might make another with different other properties and principles. Just let me know and I'll be on my way.